listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of Noise Media Network, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County and beyond. Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of you around the world. Listen to the sound of my voice. It is a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County, and this is a little bit of a different show today. I got a press conference going on live here. I got an esteemed panel of people here. We're going to be talking about health, prostate health, community health, what's going on with COVID and how they're handling it. I got people from Nigeria, Jamaica. I got some Tuskegee alums here, Tuskegee. I got our Madam DA here, Patsy Austin Gatson. I'm excited about that. I got some other DAs. I'm just excited. I got a bunch of doctors. I got some really, really, really smart people here today, and we're going to be talking about a lot of great things. So my press is here as well. So press, what I would like you to do, I'm going to give the opportunity to our panel to introduce themselves for 30 seconds, and then we're going to jump into some Q&A, and you can ask your questions and just raise your hand. So at the bottom of your screen, if you see reactions down there, if you click reactions, it'll give you the opportunity to raise your hand. If you raise your hand, I'll call on you. So just do that. Until it's your turn to speak, just be sure to mute your mic out. So we want to keep the background noise down. We want to keep the questions 30 seconds or less. So let's get started. So we're going to start out with brief introductions. Mr. Chapman, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? You can unmute your mic.
My name is Chapman Carruthers. I'm the oldest active member of the Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition. A prostate cancer survivor for almost 22 years, and I'm also the treasurer.
Thank you for being here with us. Dr. Peter Glegg, would you go ahead and unmute your mic and introduce yourself?
Good morning, and I bring greetings from the sunny island of Jamaica. I am the senior legal officer for the University Hospital of the West Indies, and I'm also a general surgeon as well. And it's a pleasure for me to partner with the team from the Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition and the people of Georgia.
Thank you so much and welcome. Madam DA, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning, Gwinnett. Good morning, all of our visitors from different and foreign lands like Jamaica. We are so thrilled about today. And I am the present DA for Gwinnett County. I've been in office for 8 months, newly elected. And I think this is just such an amazing program that we have put together. Thank you, Uzma Khan, for all of your hard work. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm hoping we can share information with the community that will be very helpful.
Thank you. Mr. Bartell?
Good morning. Welcome all by the Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition. I am the executive director. I'm pleased to be here supporting the overall effort. Thank you.
I'm sorry, unmute yourself again, Mr. Bartell. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Yes, I'm Al Bartell, executive director of the Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Madam DA. Thank you, Uzma Khan, and thank you, Madam Media Coordinator, for coordinating this communication so that the Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition, in partnership with the DA's office, can launch this opportunity in Gwinnett County. Thank you all for being here, and we're looking forward to the effort.
Thank you. Ms. Georgette Taylor.
So sorry about that. I didn't know you were going in line there. My name is Georgette Taylor. I am the owner of Dynamic Life Enterprise, and I'm also a podcast producer for Good Morning Gwinnett, as well as my own show, Dynamic Life. And I just help people to create more self-empowerment and self-love through education and different modalities. And so that's what I do.
Thank you. Ms. Brenda Lopez Romero.
Good morning, everyone. I have the pleasure to be here and work under the leadership of DA Patsy Austin Gatson. I am her senior ADA working on different restorative justice platforms and initiatives that we're doing, including a conviction integrity unit. And it's always a pleasure to be able to talk to folks about the holistic approach that we take at the DA's office to ensure that we have great public safety in collaboration with community initiatives and community education. So thanks for having us, and I look forward to the questions.
Thank you. Ms. Uzma Khan.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I am Uzma Khan. I am the Director of Victim Witness Program right here at District Attorney's Office in Gwinnett County, Ms. Patsy Austin Gatson. Very excited to serve the community under the new, fresh, and very innovative leadership. I am also a very active member of Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition, or board member of this amazing organization. Tons of passion to reach out, boots on the ground, serving the community. Look forward to build a very strong and long-lasting collaboration. Thank you, guys, from Jamaica, from Nigeria, and the locals. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Ahmed.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Saad Ahmed. I'm a pathologist from Nigeria. I bring you warm greetings, and I'm quite happy to be among this crop of people. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Mr. Adams.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Adams. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Telehealth 24/7, which is a virtual mental health care company specifically designed for people and communities of color. It is a pleasure to be with you this morning, and I look forward to working with all of you as well as all of those who are in need of mental health care and mental wellness. Thank you very much.
RXG040, I don't know your name, but if you want to unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Morning. Hello to everyone and warm greetings. My name is Ricky Gilly. I'm a member of the Georgia Prostate Board Coalition, and it's an honor to be here with you all this morning, and hopefully be able to share some good news with the community.
Thank you. Dr. Ellison.
Well, good morning, everyone. Dr. Calvin Ellison, board member of GPCC, author, naturopathic doctor, and CEO of Success Dynamics Community Development Corporation, where we are thrilled to be working with Ms. Gaston on their diversion program for use.
Thank you. Ms. Jenny Hill. Did I say that right, Jenny?
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jenny, and I'm the co-host of Health Files with Dr. Miles. I'm very excited to be here. So we produce a health show that takes health topics from the news, and we present them in a very easy and accessible manner for any of our listeners. So we like to pull medical studies, like clinical studies from PubMed or any medical journal, and translate those results into fun segments and games.
Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Dwight Thomas.
Good morning. My name is Dwight Thomas. I'm the president of the board of directors for the Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition. I'd like to thank DA Gaston for the collaboration and allowing us to partner with them in order to reach out and make a difference in the communities for physical and mental health as well as prostate cancer.
Thank you. Ms. Shantae McLaughlin.
Good morning. My name is Shantae McLaughlin. I'm a mental health, prison reform, and homeless rights advocate. I'm also sponsoring the Breakfast in the Morning through C. Louise, LLC, my company in which I'm a communications health consultant, where we believe in bringing the conversation of mental well-being to business as usual. And Demita Bishop is on. She's my assistant, so she'll be assisting me tomorrow, and that is why she is on as well. She's off camera. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tyler Wilkins.
Hi, I'm Tyler Wilkins, and I cover Gwinnett County for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Thank you so much. So I want to thank all my esteemed guests and all my media partners, as well as Patsy Austin Gaston, who is our DA. So I'm gonna start off with COVID, because that's the big thing going on right now. I know right now COVID is just wreaking havoc all over the place, and I know that a lot of you have talked about some of the things that you were doing where you are to help combat COVID. What are you doing right now on a global scale to help combat? Because I know we're global. What is the global community doing right now that you feel that can help better our situation with COVID? And we can start out with, you want to raise your hand, and I'll let you go. Remember, the reactions button is at the bottom. and then just raise your hand. Okay, Mr. Bartell, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Sure. It is clear that even though we're in Georgia, we're still part of the global community. The global health organizations are looking at how do we respond to epidemics, given that our patterns are so volatile and so non-available. We have to make the treatment and we have to make awareness much more available to the general public. We cannot do that alone. We cannot do it in a silo. We cannot only do it in America or only in Georgia or only in Gwinnett County. We have to be connected to the global community. So neighborhood leaders, community leaders, faith leaders, and small business leaders that are local are connected to the global community. At the Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition, we have a duty, we have a charge to make sure that all of our citizens are informed, all of our citizens participate, all of our citizens understand the data, and all of our citizens understand the dire need for public health. The only way to do that is for us to be connected locally, nationally, and globally.
I wanted to talk about that right off the rip because I know that's something that's really important right now that's going on around the world. I know we're here to talk about prostate health and mental health, and so with that being said, Madam DA, I know one of your initiatives is really to focus on the mental health of our community. Tell us a little bit about that initiative and how you're planning to move that forward.
Well, the way things look now in the criminal justice arena is that there are so many people that have mental health issues, and that has to be addressed differently than the normal course of operation that policing agencies and things like that take. We consider that in our cases that come in front of us, whether there are mitigation factors concerning a person's behavior. And we have always done that, and the court system has always looked at what are the psychological impact of different types of people's behavior. And I think that we are at a place now, I think overall, with policing communities, with our community stakeholders, where we all know that we have to do things differently. We have to do things differently. And it's just time. It's time for us to approach things in a different manner and how we deal with people with mental illness, because right now the jails have become the treatment center, and that is not appropriate. We have to do better as a community and get information out to people, family members. There should be, and I think we already have that in Gwinnett, there should be a separate number you can call if you have a situation with a family member or someone with a mental health issue, instead of just calling the police out to handle a situation. And even the police are now engaging with social workers and things of that nature that go out with them on different calls. So I think our society is just really cognizant of what we have to look at as a community when it comes to mental health.
Thank you for sharing. I had the opportunity to sit with Uzma Khan, and she shared her story with me about her husband and prostate cancer. We talked about the mental aspects of being a wife and surviving your husband, who her husband passed away. I want to talk a little bit about prostate cancer now, because I know one of the reasons we're here is to really talk about that. Men don't like to get tested for prostate cancer. They hate that process. I talked to Dr. Glegg yesterday, and we went through some stuff about that. But I want you guys who are very versed in this whole prostate cancer medical issue to tell the men who are listening right now, why is it important for them to get tested, and some of the new technologies that are out right now that they don't have to do some of the things that they normally have to do. So Dr. Glegg talked about it yesterday, but I want to give someone else the opportunity, and then Dr. Glegg, I want you to follow up with that. Just raise your hand and unmute your mic.
The issue with prostate cancer is a very heartening one. I've treated many patients with prostate cancers, some of whom I knew personally. And one of the things about prostate cancer that it spreads to the bone especially, in your lower back to your spine. It's a very, very, very painful death. And even more painful about prostate cancer is that it can be prevented. So we have to get the message out there to the community that you need to test early. Because the big problem is not only does prostate cancer affect the individual, it affects members of their family, it affects the community, it affects the mental health of the family, not only in tangible ways, but there are also intangible effects as well. You know, people have to leave work to take someone to the doctor, someone have to stay home to take care of an ill relative. So the effects is far reaching, and all of this can be prevented if we test early. And I really implore the young people in their families to encourage their fathers, uncles, grandfathers to get tested.
Dr. Glegg, you shared me yesterday that healthcare in Jamaica is free. Has it been to any of you attention that medical issues and the lack of healthcare and health insurance has been a problem for men getting tested for prostate cancer? Because unlike Dr. Glegg here, a lot of us have to pay for health insurance and to go to the hospital. Has that been an issue for any of you in your countries, in your areas, that health insurance and medical care has been an issue because lack of insurance? Or is it just men that just don't want to get tested?
Yeah, let me comment on this. Yes, once again, I'm Saad Ahmed from Nigeria, and I want to speak based on that background of coming from Nigeria. Most of the men in Nigeria, they hardly come for prostate cancer screening. This may be due to several reasons. It could be that maybe the level of awareness is quite low. It could also mean that due to such social or cultural issues, they may not present themselves to go through the digital rectal examination that needed to be done at that point. And so most of the people that we see in the hospital, they usually come for some other reasons. And we convince them to carry on with the prostate cancer screening, and therefore we have them take up the screening at that point. Now, the problem with that is you may not have real figures to work with because only very few will actually come for that. And that poses quite an issue. So I believe that with awareness creation and also continuous enlightenment of the people, more and more may come for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So do you think that there's okay, so more awareness. How do you think we can get that awareness out there to them? Because if they're not coming to the doctor for other reasons, what other ways can we share? Why this is important? Is it TV commercials? Is it PSAs? What are some ways that we can share that information?
Yeah, I believe we can use TV commercials or a forum just like what we are having at the moment, trying to educate the people and all of that. Because one thing that people need to know is prostate cancer is cancer of public health importance because it affects quite a large number of people. And the good thing is this can be prevented if we're able to screen and detect those that have early disease, and therefore the treatment will be quite effective. So without which, or educating the people on this, they may not necessarily present themselves for screening.
Thank you. Mr. Carruthers, you would like to add a comment?
We were talking about the lack of insurance. Most of not most, but many Black individuals don't have insurance, come from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. And we've put on screening events, participated in health fairs, and a lot of men that come to those events, this is their first time ever getting a PSA. And so a lot of it is information, a lot of it is fear. So we try to reach out to people by education. We put out advertisements on media to try to attract people to these kinds of events. But, it's difficult. As a doctor was talking about the digital records, and that sends more men away from prostate cancer testing than anything else. Um, so most of the things we do now are mostly the PSAs. So it's, less invasive. So there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed, and that's what we're working on.
Mr. Carruthers, can you just tell people what the PSA stands for, just in case they don't know?
It's prostate specific antigen. It's an enzyme. It's produced by the prostate, and it doesn't necessarily say that you have cancer. It just says there's something abnormal going on with your prostate, and that you need to go and have further testing.
Thank you. Mr. Bartell, you had your hand raised?
Yeah, I want to talk about the outreach to men. Our president, our board of directors, Dwight Thomas, directed us as a board to come up with a strategy to concentrate on reaching out to men. We understand the stigma of men, the hesitancy of men, and men need support. We have a saying called "it takes a whole village to raise a child." Well, it takes the whole community to heal a man. So our board of directors had our planning sessions and came up with 3 initiatives to do that, to reach out. And as we have an awareness initiative, an education initiative, and a screening initiative. And all of our efforts is designed to reach out to men to let them know that we can walk with them side by side and do not have to do this alone.
Thank you, thank you. Ms. Uzma Khan, you got your hands up.
I strongly feel that adding a women's voice to prostate cancer platform will truly help, because there's a big stigma with having to even say a prostate or DRE or just prostate cancer. And I have really, serving the community initially when I was on prostate cancer platform, I noticed that men would rather talk about heart attacks, as many as they have, or any other health issue, than prostate health. So it is a disease that men suffer, but let's not discount that we suffer as well. As a woman, as a wife, as a sister, as a daughter, as a mother, we go through a lot of trauma as we watch them go through the struggle. And then the aftermath, which is very brutal. It's not easy. So in my opinion, adding on women's voice on this platform, women talk, we talk, and we all know that we talk. Why breast cancer get a lot of attention and vibe is because we have no limits when it comes for us about our health and our family health. So if we add on the voice of women to this platform, I think the stigma will slow down a bit. It will ease off a little bit. And a lot of times we have done with GPCC community outreach events where we were providing free screenings. 98% of the time, women were the reason. They were dragging men in to make sure that they get tested or get screened. So why cannot these 2 voices collaborate and be a one big platform? Because prostate cancer affects everybody in the community.
Thank you so much. If you're a member of the media and you have a question for our panels or comment, please just raise your hand and I'll be happy to let you ask your question. We're going to go to, I'm sorry, Mr. RXG. You're next, but I forgot your name. Sorry about that. Unmute your mic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm Ricky Gilly.
Ricky.
The Usman was right on point. To address a couple of questions that you all presented, I did a study on 100 men, 100 black men that are cyclists, that are athletes. And out of that, there was only 3 guys that knew their PSA number. And the reason 2 of them knew, but they just came from it. One had experienced prostate cancer. So I concluded that it starts in your home. It starts in your social environment. It starts when you're sitting around watching the football game, the basketball game, where guys are able to talk about it among themselves. You have to generally start that conversation. One of the most influential people to get it done, I think, are women, because women are there with that man. And I have found that they are the driving force to mostly get most of these guys to come out to go get their exam, because they don't want to lose their husband. And but you have to create a space. I created a space called Real Blue Cycling, and where we would have an event where we invited people to come from all walks of life to come out and get free prostate screening and other health initiatives that we had at that time at the event. And what we did was created a space where men after the event can sit down and they can talk about it, and they would be surprised that you just ride with this guy on this bicycle. He looked physically healthy and everything right there, but he survived prostate cancer. And it's like what the second most curable disease behind skin cancer. So when you're able to share that conversation and get guys to have dialogue about it without the shameness and about say, hey, you're not about to lose your manhood. It's not about that. It's about saving your life. And those are basic roots, I think, that you have to attack it from. You can put it on pamphlets, you can put it on everything, but if you're not having that conversation and you're not having a real conversation with your doctor, and insurance is one of the issues, because I found a lot of guys don't have an insurance to cover. You'll be surprised how many people. I have a friend that retired from the Air Force. He died from prostate cancer. He went to the guy. He not been an athlete all our life, and he died from prostate cancer. He went into the doctor, and doctor always told him, say, "Oh, you're good, you're good, you're good." He actually went in to see the doctor, and there was a PA there, and the PA said, "Let's do a prostate exam," and he was at a level 12 at that time. So it was like maybe 6 months later. The doctor did not share the information that was well needed. The doctor did not communicate to him the seriousness of his prostate. So you must be in tune with your doctor. If you have a doctor that don't listen to you and won't talk to you, you need to get another doctor, because sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people outside your race is not going to tell you what's best for you. You have to find a doctor that's going to tell what's best for you. I have Kaiser, and I have been through some doctors. I have challenged, because it's your body. You have to take ownership of your health. And thank you for allowing me to say that.
Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it, Mr. Thomas. And then after Mr. Thomas, we're going to give Dr. Knife a chance to introduce himself, and also, introduce himself. Go ahead, Mr. Thomas.
Yes. Really, everyone's comments have been very valid. And through the years, as we have put on different seminars, different screenings, we found that talking about the subject of prostate cancer gets it on the radar of the men. We say that men are the head of the household, but the women are the necks, and they turn those guys the right way to get tested. It is so important that we keep the dialogue going, that we try to get out in the communities and have as much conversation, because the more conversation we have, the more it is on the radar and the more they begin to get tested. It is the biggest, chore to get a guy to actually go out and try and get him to get tested. I've had guys in line take the PSAs, and when they get in the DRE line, they will turn around and disappear on it. So there is a bit of, it's going back to mental health. It messes with their egos, and we have to get them over that hump. That's why it's so important to keep this dialogue going.
Thank you. We want to give Dr. Knife the opportunity, and then Athol, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Dr. Knife, first introduce yourself, and then Athol, you will do your introduction after Dr. Knife. Welcome. You got to unmute your mic, Dr. Knife.
Yes, definitely thank your team and the organizers, Uzma and her team, for inviting me here. But I'm Kadamawa Knife, Director for the Center for Entrepreneurial Thinking and Practice at the University of West Indies, Mona, where my focus is on sustainable community development using social enterprise models. And of course, you know that unless you have healthy people in a community, it really makes no sense. So health and wellness tend to be central to the way we look at community development. And of course, this program with prostate and men is crucial to the community development. So we really look forward to partnering with your team to get this thing here moving in Jamaica and elsewhere as well.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I hope I'm saying it right, Athol. You want to unmute yourself? Did I say it right?
That's correct. Good morning,
Thank you.
Everyone.
My name is Athol Hamilton, and I serve as the Student Services and Development Manager at Taylor Hall at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. And my hall is a co-ed facility, and we cater to young minds, males and females. And this year, in particular, we have developed a new program targeting our young men in hall. And so this conversation is very apt. There are a lot of issues that we have surrounding our young men. And one part of it is their health and wellness, because at this age and stage of their development, they are by and large in good health, and their lifestyle practices do not necessarily, um, meet what is required for them to maintain their health and wellness. And so one of the things that I'm tasked with is developing these students outside of the classroom, to make them into the best citizens of our community. And so having a healthy lifestyle, understanding that there are illnesses, there are conditions that are directly related to things that they do know and what they consume and how they live their life, is something that we have to get them to pay greater attention to, because I strongly believe in preventative medicine. And so I am really fascinated and happy to be a part of this symposium. It's unfortunate that because of the circumstance I can't be physically there, but I really look forward to the engagement. And also in my other sphere, I participate in the healthcare sector in Jamaica as a supplier of medical supplies and surgical implants. And so I may have one or two things to say about that as we move through.
Thank you so much. That takes me into the next segment. So you mentioned healthcare and lifestyle. I think for a lot of people, we know that sugar is bad for us. How can men have a healthy lifestyle that can prevent cancer, prevent prostate cancer before it even gets started? Because I know some people just don't like going to the doctor. They want to treat themselves, but we eat horrible. I'm one. I eat bad. I'm fessing up. What can they do to make sure that their health is better, so that they can prevent it, so they don't have to come and see you guys? What are some of the things that can be done?
If I may just do the opening round in this one. The basic thing is having a balanced diet, because every food group is important. But so it's not what you consume, but it's how balanced the food, the different contents of the food group is. Just before I came up from Jamaica, I had several discussions with my scientists at the University Hospital, because they've been doing a lot of research on prostate cancer. And as you know, prostate cancer is very high. We found it to be very high in Black men of West Indian origin, even when they migrate to the United States or to the United Kingdom. And for a while, we thought could have been, genetics, which plays a part. And we explored the issue of certain foods that we eat that are specific to Jamaica, like ackee and saltfish, which is our national dish. But our scientists are saying, up to a week ago when I had a discussion with them, that they're not really sure of the exact cause of prostate cancer, but what I can say for a fact is that definitely a lifestyle where food that are low in fats, balanced diet, high fiber diet, lots of exercise, and living a stress-free life. And this is where the mental health part comes in. You'll be surprised how much stress damages not only your mind, but your body. In fact, I remember a professor of mine telling me that a lot of times people develop cancer, they can track back maybe 5-10 years in the past, where they went through a very stressful period. So mental health, physical health, and diet is very key in health. You are indeed what you eat.
Thank you so much, Dr. Glegg. Georgette, you had your hand raised.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to touch back a little bit on what Uzma said as far as women being involved in that um, um, prostate health information to share with their husband. I've been through similar situations where I had to be the one to coax him to do that. But what I want to know from everybody here on the panel is that has initiatives been created for you to have seminars or forums or things like that that involve women because we're and sharing that information with them and helping them to guide their partner to not be so afraid of this and what it can really lead to if they don't do that. Because I mean, as women, we do have a way to be able to coax that person and to share how important it is for them to do that. So, have any of your initiatives included women, included forums with women, sharing information with them to then impart onto their spouses?
Not yet. No initiative for women yet. For wives and girlfriends and spouses. Okay, that's Uzma. That's an initiative,
Yes.
Uzma.
Yes, it is. I would do that because I know how important it is, and I know how afraid I was, and I was making attest to this, how afraid you are when things are going bad in that situation, and trying to get them to understand how important it is, not just for no, and it is important for their health. They have to start to feel a little bit more self love about who they are as people too, but also get them past that point of being afraid of the digital exam and what that means and how they can get past that fear. So I think it is really important that something like that is provided and created because women have to have the power to and have the information to have power in order to help to change the way that they see that issue as well. So
Thank you.
Yes, you're right on. One of the things that the Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition did actually 2.5 years ago over in the neighborhood planning units on the west side of the city of Atlanta, we did recognize that one of the critical reference points for keeping males involved and getting their attention is the participation of women. So as the chairman of the NPU at that point, Uzma Khan came to me and said, Al, you need to get women involved in your initiatives. And President Dwight Thomas agreed and made it available so that she could become the chairperson of the Public Health Committee over in West Atlanta and NPUJ. And one of the first 5 opportunities that we had to expand the conversation included women. And they were on Uzma Khan's committee. One of the women who was the chairman of the Makeaway Housing, which got Shantae involved, she's on the call now, was organized, designed, and set up by women. So yes, we got the message early on that women are a very, very critical part of it. And that is ongoing because Uzma's energy has allowed this today and tomorrow to go forward. And she has been a critical reference point in making sure that women continue to be at the table.
Thank you so much. Dr. Ellison, I see you had your hand raised. I don't want to skip you again. Go right ahead.
Sure. I just want to go back to the question about what can we do prevention wise. I'm like Mr. Hamilton, I'm heavily into prevention. I believe that we have to help people understand that their number one wealth is not their career. Their number one wealth is not the car that they drive or the house that they live in. Our number one wealth is our health. And we've got to protect it and protect it with knowledge and information and disciplines. I have here in my hand something that I like to put up a lot of times to show a mindset change. I have a meal in a glass. It's okay to drink a meal. I have inside of this glass some spinach, some kale, cucumber, celery, nuts, walnuts, black walnuts, sunflower seeds. My point is, people will tend to do what they see on a regular basis. And we got to step forth and dare to love our community enough to where we want to model healthy living, starting with, of course, what we put in our bodies, what we think, the relationships that we build, and around the basis as Dr. Glegg was mentioning earlier, managing the stress and so forth. But I do want to leave this imprint. It's okay to drink your meal, and it's raw.
Thank you so much for that. Uzma, you had your hand raised.
Yes, I thank you so much, everybody, for such kind words in regards to my efforts in the community. And thank you, Madam District Attorney, of your trust and faith in my work to bring me in Gwinnett County as I serve the community under your leadership. Just wanted to add on a little factor here that Georgia Prostate Cancer Coalition in 2019 launched an initiative for as adding the voice of women on the platform of prostate cancer. Because of the COVID, things changed last year. We weren't unfortunately able to carry it on last year, but it is still on the table. And I would like to bring and add on women's voice on a health platform, not only in particularly with prostate cancer, but overall health of the community. And it's very effective in Gwinnett County, and use that as a platform where we launch many initiatives, adding on community as a holistic, women, men, and children to be informed and understand the importance of health overall, and the resources that are in the community. But unfortunately, because we don't talk these difficult talks as much, so community is not aware majority of the time that there are so many resources that are around us. So I hope and I pray that as we move forward to open up the gates of all those resources that are available so we can help the community.
So speaking of tough talks, I want to talk to Mr. Adams. In our community, in the African American community in general, we don't like to talk to therapists. We don't like to. We don't want people in our business. We don't. I don't want folks in my business. We say that all the time, but sometimes you need to talk to somebody. How has your company, Telehealth 24/7, been able to assist these people who don't want people to publicly know who they are and what they're going through, and how can they take advantage of a program like yours or a company like yours?
That's a very great question. And I'm going to preface it by saying that while COVID has been devastating across the country, across the world, specifically, obviously, to the state of Georgia, it's also produced a different type of living, a different type of accessibility. And so, just like we're doing this now, virtual mental health care, virtual physical health care has become more of a normalcy. And that's what we have to do. We have to normalize the fact that your health is your wealth. And so whether it's mental health, whether it's physical health, being able to bring it to the client, being able to bring it to the patient instead of waiting for the patient to come to the office has been tremendously successful. And then when you can have providers who look like you, who understand you, who are relatable to you, it really makes a difference. And so this is what Telehealth 24/7 has been able to do. We're currently in 20 states. We have over 50 providers available to clients, and we provide a platform so that clients can read up on their provider. They can get to know them. And because we know that whoever they feel most connected with is who they're willing to share the most with. Because you're right, we're private. We don't want people to know that we're broke, we don't have any money. We don't want people to know that we're struggling with challenges. But this opportunity to be able to talk to a provider from your private residence or in your car, somewhere where you can be vulnerable and still be okay, but most importantly, get the help that you need.
Thank you so much. So we're getting close to our time, but before I go, I just want to pose this question. So we're all here thanks to our Uzma Khan and Madam DA, Mr. Gatson, for just bringing everybody together. What are you guys hoping to get out of this conference that's going to take place tomorrow? Now, listen, guys, this is just a taste of what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow is we just talked an hour. Tomorrow is like all day from like 10 to 4. So this is just a taste of what you're going to get tomorrow when we live stream. But I want you to share with the people that are watching right now, what is it that you hope to get from this conference as a collaborative partner with our DA and our county here? And we're happy to have you all. Anybody? Ms. Bartell?
Just had a conversation about how critical it is for women to get involved in the effort. I don't think it's an accident that one of the most powerful elected officials in the state of Georgia, the DA, Patsy Austin Gatson, who is in the most diverse county in Georgia, is now leading the way for this public health initiative. No one could even begin to imagine that a DA would give a damn and care enough to make that happen. And I think it's very notable this DA happens to be a woman. So what you can expect tomorrow is that same kind of leadership from her. She is committed to have the communication be available. She's committed to have public engagement lead the way. We're clear that her relationship to the law enforcement community is stellar. And if law enforcement is behind this, that sends a signal to men that we can all get the kind of help that we need. And it's under her leadership and her partner, Uzma, also a woman, that the whole effort gets kicked off. And we're absolutely beyond measure proud that tomorrow we can expect more of the same to be expanded, sustainable, and made available as we move forward into the 21st century. And thank you, thank you, thank you, Madam DA.
Thank you, Mr. Bartell. Those are some beautiful words. Thank you so much. Uzma, you got something to add?
Yes, so tomorrow, I look at this entire effort and tomorrow to be the display of our, our vision, our step toward finding the solutions, opening the table for conversations, putting any and every topic up on. And without collaboration, I don't think at any point in time you can serve the community. Our Madam District Attorney and her entire team is here to serve. And how can you serve if you're in a silo or you're just by yourself? So tomorrow and now, as we all are here, all the way from Jamaica, Africa, locals, this is the first step as we're taking towards resolutions, finding that light, and building strong, long-lasting, collaborative bonds so we can serve. The focus is here to serve the communities. The suffering is in the community and it's for real. So keeping the talk real, touching base on the topics that people don't want to talk about, that's the reality. So we have already started the reality right here.
Thank you. Mr. Tyler Wilkins from AJC.
Sure. I have a question about mental health, specifically for DA Gatson. What are the steps that the district attorney's office has taken to, better address mental health issues, and, how can other government agencies, better address them?
Mm-hmm. I just believe it's an ongoing challenge for all of the policing agencies. We have taken the mental health challenges into account. We have a mental health accountability court here in Gwinnett County where we take that into consideration as we look at what is the root cause of why laws were violated. So we do look at that, but we have to get even more intense with how we view that, because as I've said in my opening statement, our jails now are becoming mental health institutions and they're not really equipped for that. So as a society, as a community, we have to look at this more closely. I was just viewing a video earlier today about a person that had autism and was nonverbal, could not deal with what the commands he was getting from the police officers to get down on his knees. So they ended up tasing this man about 6 times, and the community kind of chimed in and told the officers he's got a mental disability. So these are things I think are really coming to the forefront, and people are understanding that this is an issue in our community. And I take my hat off to the chiefs of police statewide in Georgia who are looking at these issues. My husband is chief investigator in a solicitor's office, so he went through training with them, and they are looking at how you decriminalize issues like homelessness, how you handle folks, how you de-escalate in situations, so that it doesn't always become a confrontation. with people that are dealing with different disabilities. So I think we have a lot of work to do in the area. We have done some, but I think we will continue and we will do more.
I just want to add to our DA's comments, Tyler. Part of our second segment is specifically around the issue that you're commenting on mental health and its regional impact as well. So we're going to have several primarily commissioner electeds from throughout our Metro Atlanta counties. And part of the conversation is to discuss it, and that is the collaborative nature of it, what programming they're doing that has worked that relates to ensuring better access to mental health care and also simply being able to engage with individuals with mental illness in regards to public safety. And so, you know, I've already have a couple of notes of different types of programs that counties such as Hendrick, Clayton, obviously Cobb, and here in Gwinnett County are doing in that arena. And so that is, you know, how all of the conversations that we're having here, from, of course, acknowledging this month as being Prostate Awareness Month, down to the fact that the general health, including mental health, all affects public safety. And so one of the key questions that I'm going to ask our panelists for our second segment is precisely what you're asking, right? What is each county doing at the localized level, at the municipal level, because we have some mayor of cities as well. What are they doing, and what programming are they doing that have been successful, that are working? Because ultimately, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel, and what works elsewhere may work for us here in Gwinnett County, and that is part of the conversations that we want to have.
Thank you so much. Do we have any more questions, comments, concerns to take us out? No?
Yes, I want to make one other statement as well regarding what Ms. Austin Gatson is doing. And I know we're focusing probably more so on the adults, but our youth are in trouble. We got some issues here. We're glad at Success Dynamics to be partnered with the diversion program to focus on our youth, health-wise, mental health, socialization, and so forth. So I just wanted to put that plug in. And again, thank you, Ms. Gatson, for allowing us to be able to partner in. We've seen some cases that have been brought to us that had they not been diverted over to us, they would be ticking time bombs in the county. And we have literally seen through our mentors a diffusing of a problem that you may get when they get in their 20s or their 30s and so forth. So again, thank you. You're talking about programs and things that we can do. Let's get them while they're young.
Madam D, I got one last question for you. This is such a great platform and a great event that's going to be taking place tomorrow and today. Why did you want to do this? Why did you want to bring all this great group of people together?
The most I can say, this word has been mentioned several times during this meeting, is collaboration. And that's important because we have to look at our community holistically. It's usually, as Dr. Ellison has said, usually things have a root. And if we can catch our kids early and take them on a different trajectory so that they don't come into the criminal justice system, we have succeeded. So we have a lot of work that we need to do, that we are doing. And every day when you get up, yes, there's going to be more work. So we have it. We're going to do this. And this is extremely important. I mean, the overall health of a family is important. If a caregiver passes away and that family is thrown into turmoil, then those children get into trouble. I've seen it happen with families. Husband is taken away and there's a very hard time for that family to progress and for those children to be good citizens. And this is important for our men to be here as long as they can so that they can support their families. And we just want them to know that we are part of that. You know, as women, that's what we will do, is push forward and help the community.
Thank you so much. Dr. Knife, I see your hand is raised. Please unmute your mic.
In just responding, in just adding to what Ms. Gassner just mentioned, I think that is why it is important that when we do this kind of work, we have some way of measuring the value being created by these intervention programs. because these intervention programs have significant positive multiplier effects, which impacts the entire space. Sometimes when we speak, the persons who we speak to, they listen in terms of dollars and cents, and how do you monetize this impact? How do you attach a monetary value to the fact that when you treat prostate cancer early and it resolves, it reduces the amount of stress that the family would be facing, or it prevents a young person from becoming involved in nefarious activities because the father is still there, and those can be monetized. So what it does, it allows us to recognize and speak the potential funders that when you do these programs, this is the social rate of return on that investment being made in the program. And we can show you that for every dollar spent, this is the amount of dollar saved or value created. It adds to the communication and it adds to the messaging in a very tangible way.
Thank you so much. Chantel, you got a question?
I have a statement. So good afternoon or good morning again. So tomorrow, so I'm a mental health advocate. I have lived experience and I share openly and honestly my stories, challenges with mental health as well as incarceration. Wrongfully incarcerated due to being homeless and living with mental health. And so tomorrow, one of my clients, Recovery Consultants of Atlanta, will be there. And they have the largest grant given by SAMHSA to cover mental and behavioral health here in the state of Georgia. And the target audience is actually the youth. 8 years from their mobile unit, they can diagnose as early as the age of 8. They can pull up in front of a school or community event. And so they will be out, and they're always open to dialogue about collaborations and partnerships and ways to impact the youth, and engage in this conversation and treat the family as a whole, because it can be hereditary and it can show up in males. Typically mental health starts showing up in the teenage years, and females in the 20s, so right after college. So just being engaged in this conversation and always being available for Uzma to call me with any kind of questions that she may have, because she's been a tremendous stand in the community, not just in Gwinnett, but throughout Metro Atlanta as well. And she's committed to making a difference. And mental health and the stigma impacts everyone, but it really impacts brown and Black communities. And Uzma has been a champion for this conversation. So any resources that I have to help move this conversation forward, I'm always willing and open to having that dialogue.
Thank you so much. Tyler, I see your hand is still up. Do you have another question? Okay, maybe not. Madam Dear, your hand is up. Do you have a question, a comment?
It was merely a clap.
Oh, okay.
I like what's being said here, and this is so important. So thank you all.
Thank you. So listen, you got a taste of what's going on tomorrow. So let me just give you some of the topics that we're going to be discussing tomorrow. We're going to be discussing national issues and challenges of federal, hospital, and public policies. Dr. Saad is going to talk about that. Dr. Knife is going to talk about issues and challenges of public policies on prostate cancer, social entrepreneurship. Anytime I hear the word entrepreneurship, I get excited. And one of the solutions. Mr. Athal is going to be talking about the role of education in community health. Dr. Yates is going to be talking about the role of research prostate cancer in the world. So we got and Dr. Glegg and Madam DJ are going to be our keynotes for tomorrow. So make sure to tune in. Listen, tomorrow is jam packed. So you don't want to miss it. If you enjoyed this short segment that I did today, you don't want to miss it tomorrow because they're going to go more in depth about what they're talking about. We only had an hour and we were right at 11:01, so we did really good. I'm surprised, but we did really good. If you want to find out more tomorrow, be sure to tune in to the DA's website on Facebook, the DA's page on website. We're live streaming right now there, the District Attorney page on the Facebook. You'll be able to watch this event live tomorrow from 8:30, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, 3:30 I think it is. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for taking part in this. Madam DA and Uzma, Brenda, She has a great team, y'all. I just texted her while I was talking. I said, you got a great team because they can just jump in there and just say stuff, and I'm always amazed. So thank you all for coming in. I wish I was in Jamaica where the sun was shining bright, drinking some coconut water, but I'm here in the ATL. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to talking to you and meeting some of you tomorrow in person. Have a great day. Thank you all. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye. So listen, guys, that's the end of the show. That was a very unusual show. We did a live. That was on Zoom. So if you were trying to get me on StreamYard, you couldn't get me because I was on Zoom today. I'm gonna go to a song and I'm gonna come back and close it out. And we're gonna talk about. I'll tell you when I come back. I'm gonna go to this song and I'm gonna close the show out. And we're gonna talk about my inspiration for the week, for the day. Stay tuned.
Caught by a feeling, knows me I'm the right or wrong, gets me what I want. I'm hanging by a string,
back. So listen, guys, that's all I got for you today. Listen, the International Health Summit is taking place tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be from 9 to 3 p.m. It's a fun-packed day of information sharing and collaboration from my esteemed guests who were here with me this morning. You got a chance to just get a taste of what they're going to be talking about on the panel tomorrow. They get more time to talk about their areas of expertise and the solution to some of the problems that we face. So make sure to tune in tomorrow. Go to Facebook Live. Be sure to find the Gwinnett District Attorney Facebook page. We're going to be streaming live from there tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. So be sure to check that out. If you want to learn more about what they're doing, if you have a question for them, you'll be able to ask the question on the Facebook platform. And so, that's going to be a well-attended event, also an event full of more information that's going to go deep into some of the issues that we talked about today: mental health, prostate cancer, community collaborations. All of those good things are going to be discussed tomorrow. Social entrepreneurship. I'm really interested in that. So I'm gonna be in the house tomorrow. So make sure to tune in. That was different. I didn't even get a chance to give you your horoscope today, but I hope you understand this was important for me to be able to moderate this press conference with the people that were there. But anyway, let me give you my word of inspiration for today, and it's pretty simple. You cannot do anything. You cannot do everything by yourself. If you were listening to this whole entire segment, you understood by now, hopefully, that you have to collaborate with people to get things done. Sometimes we get so stuck in trying to do everything by ourselves. We just want to do everything by ourselves. I'm going to do it myself. And that kind of slows down the progress. So collaboration is a big thing. And as you can see, I had a room of about 15, 17 people that were all there to collaborate in some form or fashion, whether they were media outlets taking notes to go back and write a press release and do a podcast about, whether they were a doctor, whether they were a community activist, an advocate for mental health. They were all there to collaborate and see how they could make it better. From Jamaica to Nigeria to the United States, they were all there to collaborate to see how they could make this thing better, not just for themselves, but for our world. These people came from around the world to be a part of this. Collaboration is going to be key to a lot of things that you have to do. Don't be afraid to collaborate. Find a good collaborative partner if you can and collaborate on some things. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Okay? Okay. That's all I got for you today. That's all I got. I'll be back again tomorrow. Normally today is my Friday, but because I will be hosting the whole panel tomorrow from 9 to 1, which is long. Tomorrow, 9 to 1. I'll be hosting the panel live 9 to 1. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. I can't even say today is my Friday because today is really my Thursday, just like it's yours. I'll be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. God willing, to bring you more of the great people that you heard from today. Go back. If you didn't listen to my interview with Dr. Peter Glegg yesterday, go back to yesterday and listen. A different day yesterday as well. I did give you a horoscope yesterday, but I didn't give them to you today because this started exactly at 10 o'clock. Go back and listen to that episode. It was a great episode. He is a wealth of knowledge. He's a Renaissance man. He's a doctor, lawyer, musician. He's all of those great things, but he's also an advocate and an activist for our health. Not just in Jamaica, but around the world. So that's why he's here with us this week. Be sure to check that out. Listen, if you missed any episode of the show, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to listen to past episodes there. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook at Good Morning Gwinnett. Follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Gwinnett, and follow me on the Twitter at Good Morning Gwinnett. If you listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, find your favorite 2 episodes and give it 5 stars. Like, love, share, and comment and subscribe to the show there as well. Thank you again for listening. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. God willing. You stay safe out there. Until next time, my friends, make it a great day. Bye now.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.